Hi there guys, welcome to this video. Today we're gonna talk about cutting. I feel like people are cutting too often. This is something that I've noticed over the years when I'm interacting with the gym bros. Most of them always want to cut. Why? Because there is summer every year, and that can be a mistake in my opinion, to cut too often for this time when it's hot, when you wanna be beach ready. I will explain you in this video why cutting too often is a mistake. Well, this is a logical thing that you would want to do because it's summer, you feel like shredding down. I understand the temptation, but I think there are other alternatives to still look good, and that cutting will slow down your progress in the long term if you're doing this every year, and many people are doing this. Again, understandable, but you're not really maximizing gains. I think there are better ways. I'm gonna explain you this right now. So yeah, first opinion, cutting too often is gonna be detrimental to your progress. If you've done a cut before, you know how tiring this is. It's not easy. While this is enjoyable when you see the results, and I totally understand that you might want to cut down, at the end of the day, if you're gonna do this every year, it's really not worth it. Why? Because if you're gonna cut, it's gonna take 2-3 months for some people, even more. It depends, how far you went, I guess, on the bulk, and if you perhaps been adding a bit too much fat. But when you cut down, it's gonna be for a few months usually if you're not at a very low body fat, and it's gonna take a lot out of you. If you actually kept going on a slow bulk, not basically breaking the momentum, because this is what people do when they cut too often. They kind of break the momentum. They were actually starting to improve, they were restarting. Basically, it's a bit like when you go down a hill in your car, to the handbrake, you put it down and it goes down a little bit on the down the hill, and it starts very slowly and then it starts going faster and faster as it goes down. And it's a bit the same with when you're starting basically your slow bulk. Well, at the start, you're gonna basically restart the machine, and then after a few months you're really into it, you have a good momentum, you're making gains, you have great energy, and then all of a sudden if you're basically cutting, well, you kind of break this momentum. And the issue when it's every year, that you're cutting down, you're breaking this momentum way too often, and so you're not progressing basically as fast as you could over the years. That's one thing that I want to say. Your bulk basically, or your slow bulk is not long enough. What you want to do is give more time to this bulk phase. And if you're definitely frustrated of not being lean for summer, then basically the slow bulk is something for you. Staying basically at a pace where you're actually giving yourself some energy, enough calories to train, make gains on the long term, not being impatient. And then doing mini cuts for summer is probably something that you should do, because a proper cut where you're gonna go down to 10% body fat, or 11 or lower than this, is gonna be the cut that will definitely break the momentum and put you on your knees. You're gonna be very tired, and it's not worth it. What you can do instead, like I said, is probably slow bulking all year round, up to 16-17%. Stay in these ranges here, and if eventually you want to cut down a bit more for summer, go down to 14%, 13 maximum, and you will actually look decently lean. At this level, when you're 13%, well, abs are showing, jawline is showing as well. Usually it is great because you're not going on a cut which will literally make you very tired and actually literally break the momentum. And you can actually cut a little bit, be ready for summer without basically killing the gains and the momentum that you were following. And then when summer ends, you can actually restart, just upping the calories a bit more, and you will be able to carry on with the slow bulk that you were doing without losing your gains. So that's my advice for the people who like to cut down for summer and usually go a bit too far in the cut. Also, one thing that I want to say now is that for people who like drinking, eating, that can be understandable. During summer, you're with your friends, etc., and you gym for fun. If gym is not all your life, it makes sense that you're training and you just like, to show off, I guess, once in a while, and you just like to have an athletic physique, and you're not gonna, ban yourself from eating some nice food during summer or drinking with your friends if that's something you like to do. That's understandable that you want to do this and gym is not all your life, but still, if you don't want to mess up all the hard work you've been working for, again, going on a mini cut and staying around 13-14% body fat is probably better in my opinion than going way too down, because what happens is that most of the people, they cut down for summer, they go pretty low in their body fat, and then they actually kind of enjoy their physique for like 1 or 2 weeks after getting all the booze inside their body, all the junk food, and then it's disaster. They've literally tired themselves for this cut. They've barely enjoyed their party time because they were tired from the cut, and then they've been binge eating and binge drinking, and their physique is destroyed. Don't go too far in the cut, mostly if you know that you're gonna be enjoying some food and some alcohol perhaps during the summer. As well, another advice that I could give is obviously to keep training during your vacations or holidays. One thing that people do, not only that, but they cut down and then they end up drinking, eating junk food, and they don't even train anymore because they're in vacations with their friends. Physique destroyed, and then they go back to training when the vacations are over after a month or two, and they literally do all the work for 8 months up to the next summer to just do exactly the same thing, and they stagnate all the time. So if you're someone who still wants to have an improved physique over the years, I think that the advice, that the tips that I've been giving you in these videos are something that you should follow. I know also that training might not be something you want to do when you're in vacations or holidays, but honestly, this even 30 minutes to 1 hour a day is something that is literally going to save you, and that if you actually totally stop and that on the side you're eating a lot of food, etc., you're really going to break everything down. It's not worth it. It's better to, even if you're lazy during vacations and you don't really want to bother too much about the gym, 30 minutes to 1 hour a day, even that, to kind of preserve what you've been working for, is really worth it. So what's my advice in terms of when should you cut, when should you keep bulking, etc.? I think that for beginners, when you're starting, I think staying at maintenance and just hammering the work, getting into that process of lifting is going to be already a lot of stress for your body, something new. You're going to build some muscle. You don't have to go on a bulk or on a cut, just kind of like eat as you wish. Just don't really count, but stay around maintenance. Enjoy yourself, start going to the gym, hammer it, and I wouldn't particularly advise you to cut too soon again, because it's going to slow down your progress. Go on maintenance, slow bulk for 2 or 3 years, and then do your first cut. My first cut, I only did it after 3 or 4 years, because I knew it was probably better to keep the momentum going, make some great gains, and then cut down and actually see something incredible, see some great results. It was much better than, imagine if I just gym for a year, cut down, and then I'm a bit disappointed, then I need to restart the body, the machine, and then I cut down 1 year later and it's still not great. Better do once for all a very good slow bulk, give it some good gain, some good mass that you're building, and then cut down and you see some amazing results. You're not too much in a hurry, because this is natural bodybuilding. It's patience, and on the long term, if you do things well, you're gonna actually be surprised faster than you thought. So be patient. So that was it for today, guys. That was my advice on cutting. You shouldn't cut too often. Be careful with this, and I hope you enjoyed it. So if you did so, feel free to share, like, and subscribe. As often, feel free to leave some comments down below. If I can help you, then I will answer you. Thank you for watching. See you later.